All right, round 5 of my vintage league. Turn 1 sphere on the play. Yeah. Yeah, I'll keep that. That looks good. 7 cards enter the exile zone. This is a blue Belcher deck. I assume that resolving 2 spheres wins me the game. I don't know for sure. Or am I actually just facing a Dredge deck and, like, all their blue cards were randomly just right there? Yes. I guess I just Sorceress Spyglass Bazaar for this turn and then figure out how to beat this later. Alternatively, I could just Ghost Quarter it and play another Sphere of Resistance. That would be kind of bad against another Bazaar. That would be kind of bad against another Bazaar. Not do that. Play out a Ghost Quarter, because these theoretically could get, like, Force of Vigored, I guess, at some point. I don't know that I have any real targets for Revoker. Basking, Rootwalla, Deathrite Shaman. Like, so with Inventor's Fair, I'm only taking 3 a turn. That actually gives me a good amount of time. I guess random creeping chills are gonna hurt. Alright, so I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, search, play up to a 4-drop artifact. Legacy. Okay, how does this read? Is it artifact or colorless card? Artifact card. So I could get Lodestone Golem and trade with the onboard creature. Hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4, that, 4. That doesn't work this turn. Alright, I'm pretty sure I'm activating this turn though, so I'm gonna go ahead and start doing that. I can play a 3-drop immediately. Or I can play something next turn. Actually, I could just pick up a 3/3 Stonecoil Serpent right now. Trade 2 bodies for that. Play Inventor's Fair again in another turn or two. Yeah. Alright, and I've already played a land this turn. Prized Amalgams get to enter play. That's not good. Don't have anything like an Ensnaring Bridge, I don't think. I can play that, rack this. Where does that get me? Gets me another Stonecoil Serpent, which leaves me dead. Yes. I've conceded. Okay. So Leyline, Bog, Crypt, Page. Silent Arbiter? Is this your moment? Similarly, do I Wormcoil Engine? I guess let's figure out what's not good. Chalice doesn't look particularly good. A lot of these hate cards don't look fantastic. I don't think God Pharaoh statue is particularly good. I think like a Wormcoil Engine would be better than something like that. My opponent's going to cast so few spells. Maybe I board some of this out. Spyglass for Bazaar seems good. We need to cut 5 more cards. Maybe it's not Sphere, like, maybe this is just going to get in my way more than my opponent's way. And these are the hate cards I'm mulliganing to instead. I think I still like Trinisphere for Force of Virtue, or Force of Vigor reasons. Maybe let's go down a Crucible. Maybe some of this stuff is better than Crucible. Again, I don't have nuanced sideboarding advice based on my vintage experience. This has a turn 1 hate card with a small turn 1 threat. That one land makes into a very good hand. Awkwardly, I boarded in my Graveyard Hate, and I didn't play towards drawing the 1-of Karn. There's other things I can draw, though, that are pretty good. I'm just gonna floop the Mystic Forge into play. I would like to draw that next turn. Yeah, that's gonna shut off Bazaar. It's gonna be quite good. We've dodged 1 Force of Vigor. Yikes. Hitting another Narcomoeba here would be scary. Alright, we dodged the prized amalgams. That's good. Running Bazaar. Alright. Let's go ahead and exile that. Good God. So in this game on the draw, I would really like to have Leyline if possible. I think think I like what I'm looking at. This one's a very easy mulligan for me. There's no graveyard hate here, and I'm not doing anything broken on turn 1. On his mulligan to 6. We'll also mulligan to 6. This hand does nothing. This hand has a lot of hate. Keep this. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 mana. Golos represents a bog, but a bog considerably later. I think I'm junking that. The Stonecoil Serpent? I think the Stonecoil Serpent. I think I'll be strip mining that Bazaar on turn 1 so my opponent can't dig towards Force of Virtue. I can do that instead. I think I go. I guess Force of Vigor is kind of bad, right? I play that. My opponent gets a 2 for 1. But then my cage doesn't get got or something. Regardless, I'm going to go ahead and play it. Oh, shoot, opponent does have it. I'm going to go to my second main here. Do I play the cage? I think I play the cage. Slightly awkward. Gives my opponent more agency in what happens in this turn cycle. But I think I want to be going into my opponent's turn with 1 hate card of some nature in play. Hollow one is a little bit spooky. Yikes. Probably don't beat that unchecked. But this card is starting to look problematic. Oh, that is incredibly sexy. not the clock I wanted, but it's the clock I'm getting. I never count these sort of like dredge decks out until they're actually dead, though. They can do very spooky things on not a lot of resources. Alright, so now I'm at the point where one of my like top deck big scary spells is quite good. Doubling my clock seems great as well. Got a Narcomoeba there. That is absolutely acceptable. The slow bleed, I'm used to this. Attacking with 2/2s for 10 turns. This is my jam. We're not going to play that. I guess searching up this is like a really big utility side of Golos in this matchup that I wasn't really thinking about. I don't think I have any reason to play the Pearl. I'm gonna hold on to it. Bluff some more gas in hand. Opponent has nothing other than maybe Once Upon a Time that's cast a lot more than 1 mana, or maybe Collector Oof from the sideboard. I might be ahead enough on mana that I just Ghost Quarter them. Specifically because a 2/2 getting into play stops my clock. It gives them a 2-for-1, but I don't think I care. I would kind of like something else to close this game. I am starting to get a little nervous. Opponent discarded a Stinkweed Imp. Okay. Relatively happy about that. So Deathrite Shaman and Madness is an activated ability. May play this card for its Madness cost at the time started from. Alright. Madness MTG. Because that probably doesn't work like it says on the cards. Okay, I can't stop that with Revoker, so we're probably looking at just naming Deathrite Shaman then. Okay. Didn't die to pitch cast Force of Vigor there, so that's cool. Alright, nice. What do they look like though? Ah, there we go. Much better. Now we can see the treasure chests. Okay, so I ended up with a 4-1 in my first vintage league here with Mud. Or shops. This is vintage. We'll call it what it is with Golos shops. Just some generic thoughts on the deck list. Golos was way better than I was expecting it to be. I kind of looked at that card and I was like, is this really the best we can do? But it turns out when you have the ability to search up Tolarian Academy and Strip Mine and Workshop, that actually, yeah, it's pretty darn good. And Caracasing it kind of feels like the old school Mangara lock in that like you destroy one of your opponent's lands per turn while like slowly accruing value. I'm definitely about that life. Oh god, what is it called? God Pharaoh statue. The God Pharaoh statue was something that looked a little bit skeptical to me when I was first looking at it, but turns out it was pretty darn good and it was my finisher in a couple of games. Um, when it's not obvious, sideboarding feels really hard to me. Like I don't know how I should be adjusting. I made some guesses, but that's exactly what it was. It was just guesswork. But I enjoyed this a lot, and I will probably record another league of this nature. I hope you all enjoyed. Let me know in the comments if you want to see more.